Oh my god. Fifi Ojeda. Hello, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué pedo? What's up and what's the cheese? Yo soy Fuera and welcome al primer episodio de Chisme Mondays. Chisme Mondays is a place I created where we can get real chingona and chisme out about life and important moments in Latinx and Chicano history. I figured, ¿cómo vamos a ser comadres? Like, how can we get to that level of being comadres? And the only way I could do that is, pues obvio, chismear. So, I'm going to give you some chisme on me. So, grab a cerveza, grab your favorite pan dulce, or your favorite cup of maruchan. This is my coming out story. Yeah, cabrones. Ya vámonos. Let's get this shit started, because I've been looking like a papa right now. But don't trip. She's going to be a really pretty french fry. No te preocupes, if you're watching this, congratulations. And I'm sorry at the same time. Congratulations, because I actually uploaded this. I mean, for everyone else who supports my stupid ass and is here watching, thank you. Everyone new, disculpa. Desde ahorita te digo, disculpa. I never uploaded my videos. I have several videos where I thought I was gonna do a tutorial or like upload and según be that bitch or no sé qué. I don't know. So at this point, I'm just like, do it for fun. I also was scared of judgmental people, like the other ones who are here judging. Fuck out. Que se vayan ahorita la chingada. I don't want you here. We're just gonna start there. My hair's already slightly pulled back, so I'm halfway ready to go if I have to. Just letting you know. Fair warning. No chinga. The makeup look that I'm doing today, I'm kind of inspired by Shea Coulee. I remember, I think, was it what was it called? The Gayest Ball Ever? Or the, yeah. Well, she had her, like, spray paint graffiti, like, interpretation of Pride. It was still very colorful. So I thought it was cool. So I'm going to kind of go off that. And, sorry, guys. Algo bien orgullosa. Van a ver. Okay, so I've already, like, hydrated and primed my skin. Good thing for me, Quarantina not only took all of my bookings, she also took my eyebrows. I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyebrows. Okay, so my name is William. Yeah, that's right, William. My name is William. When people ask, ¿cómo te llamas? Siempre les digo William. Y luego siempre me contestan, ¿qué? Y yo, William, como William Levy. Y ellos, y yo, sí, soy yo, William Heavy. Y luego ya no me hablan. William Heavy. Pues sí, así soy. Loca, gorda y chingona. Yeah, but my name actually sounds really cool in Spanish. Well, because William in Spanish is Guillermo.
With the G?
Guillermo. So like, Guillermo Antonio Carrillo. No, get this. So I one time was listening to, I forgot who it was, but they were saying that they trip out when they listen to Spanish radio stations because the DJ host always sounds like Dracula. And I never thought about that. But if you think about it, en el canal 8 a las 6:30 noticias. You know what I mean? Like very like da-da-da! Anywho, so yeah. That's my name. I'm gonna set the record straight. Because a lot of people are constantly like, oh, ChiChi's from LA. Or, oh, ChiChi's from Mexico. Well, yeah, Mexicali. And, yo soy braleña. Hey. My mom's from here. My dad is from Mexicali. So, to everyone who says que no soy de Mexicali. Si me gustan o no me gustan, me vale madre. Porque si soy de aquí de Estados Unidos, todavía tengo la sangre de México. Toma. Anyway, we can go like more into depth with my family and their history con Mexico like later on in another video, because I think it's something that's actually really cool. Disculpa, I know, but I had to do this off camera porque si sabes, ya sabes. Porque, güey, hay veces la ceja es algo diferente. So basically, my dad is from Mexicali. And that's where his family's from Mexico, which I've already talked about. When he came across, he came to school, dropped out, and you could barely see that, and joined the Marines. He did that. He was married with his first wife, divorced from his first wife. Then, that's when he met my mom. And they bonded and really got along because they liked a lot of the similar things. Like, my dad's brothers were really into lowrider cars, and having a lowrider is a lot of maintenance, and you got to put a lot of pride and joy into that. And well, they both share that same love, and they met, y pues salieron, putearon, cogieron, aquí estoy. Growing up was a little at times it's just a little uncomfortable. I was constantly teased by like my cousins, my uncles. So basically, growing up, I was the first grandchild on both sides of the family. So the oldest cousins that I had were girls. So anytime I had any interaction with any child my age, or one of the first times I could remember, we were playing with Barbies. Las muñequitas, way. Yep, that's right. We were like dressing them up. We were like, my favorite part was like doing their hairs. But yeah, siempre salía de pleito con mis primos because I would always want the pretty one. Porque, obvio, estoy bonita. I felt like myself playing with Barbies. It was a different world than playing with boys. Those were the early stages where I kind of knew I was a little different. Tenía más salsa que las otras. Also, it was kind of like a, oh fuck, because I was in the know that I was different, but I knew that I couldn't express how I was different because of the machista background that is behind like Latin culture. I mean, my dad was a Marine. Oh, and my mom was a catechism teacher. And then on top of that, like I already had my cousins teasing me and like just making me feel like shit. Like caca. I just didn't want to come out. I just said, why? Like, what is that going to do? What is that going to cause? Nothing good. So, I hid it. It wasn't until, like, my beginning phases of high school that I started coming out to family members. One of the first people I ever told was my sister, which was a funny incident because, okay, mind you, obviously she knew. When we were little, and my beginning stages of playing with makeup, I would steal my mom's Avon and Mary Kay. Y yo y mi hermana escondíamos en el pinche closet y yo según le maquillaba. I was obsessed with like makeover shows of the 90s. Yeah, I would transform my sister into Selena and I would make her perform for our family. Enfrente de toda la familia. For like Thanksgiving, Christmas. We had that bitch doing the washing machine everywhere. She still does, and now we just wish she stopped, but todavía sigue la cabrona. Yeah, the first time I saw Selena, me enamoré porque being around so many strong, independent Latinas myself and then seeing this, I don't know, I just remember there was something very, like, energetic. And then after that, the next time I saw anybody that made that kind of impact on me was John Leguizamo on To Wong Fu. Just hearing the intro song, you already know what kind of movie you're set up for. Watching, ¿cómo se llama ese güey? El que salió cuando se pone sus pantyhose. It's just a mood. It's a mood. When I saw that movie, and I saw Chi-Chi for the first time, man, it was the first time that I completely saw and thought, pues wey, yo soy un little Latin boy in drag. Hence why my name is Chi-Chi. I don't know if that gave it away too. So after all the questioning, I kind of knew what I was, but I was just completely terrified. It was a big mindfuck. Coming out is just a big mindfuck sometimes. And sometimes you want to put others people's happiness over yours, and you should not do that. I was like a little necio and shit. Not proud of. Your boy had game. Don't let this papa fool you. I basically did that. I had little girlfriends because I didn't want my family to disown me. And like I said, growing up with that machista mentality, I was scared. Girl, you're scared of the chancla. When a dad te chinga, you're scared of the cinto. So, wey, imagínate. I came out to my sister, and then I started coming out to my tias, like the cool tias. So, I started coming out to them. And then, so my senior year was the first time I ever had like an actual boyfriend. And well, at the time, I only had like 2 other gay friends. So like I wasn't out, but they knew about me. Los pendejos que sabían. One day I was supposed to go on a date. I was gonna go putear and shit. And my friend was like, let's hang out. And I was like, no, I don't have a date. And then he was just like, well, fine, whatever. So, cuando le dije al güey que no quería salir con él, no salir como hook up, pero salir como putear, party. He knew that I was gonna go with my boyfriend. Que iba a salir con mi novio, y pues salí con mi novio. Duh, obvio. Era verga, güey. So, I remember I came home that day. Pues obvio, entré como nada, y pues mi amigo me dijo, y en una de repente, igual, el mismo pinche minuto, el mismo pinche segundo que mi amigo me dijo, güey, ese güey ya te dijo todos tus papás, todo. My parents call me. Que si pudiera ir a la cocina. Y güey, cuando vas a la cocina y tu mamá dice, ven a la cocina, algo está quemado, o te van a gritar. Yo fui así como nada, entrando a la pinche cocina, y todo serio. William, I'm gonna ask you a question. Yo, yeah, mom, yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you gay? So I said no, and I lied. I said no, and then I went back to my room. My friend was like, dude, you need to just tell her. And I was like, you're right. I go out to go tell her. Tell me why my dad was like hidden by the back door, snooping on the conversation. She was trying to get me. My mom was trying to be sneaky. So then it wasn't until like a month after that, I finally came out to my mom and I told her like, hey yo, me gusta la verga mucho. When I told her and came out, she was distant, which was weird because I was like a mommy's boy. It sucked. It really did. Oh, and then after that, she kind of told me to tell my dad. So I did, and that conversation went really well. Actually, my dad told me that ever since I was small, he always knew that he just was waiting for the day to get clarity and for me to just tell him. The pivotal point for my mom to finally see through the looking glass was 2 years after I graduated. My sister had her quinceañera, and so I came out, and you know how like señoras wear jewelry of the Virgen de Guadalupe. I remember being at my sister's quince. We were in line. We were lining up outside the church to walk in. The father grabbed me out of the line, and told me to take off my earrings because my earrings had the Virgin Mary, and that I was being disrespectful for wearing the Virgin Mary in church. he knew I was gay. I guess after that, my mom kind of opened her eyes. But it was a happy moment because after that, me and my mom started talking again. So now she's my homie, she's my homegirl. So my coming out story was a little, well, not so coming out story. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't get to have that moment. But the beauty about gay culture is you really do get to create your own family. Anyways, let's get to a good topic. We're going to continue talking about pride and coming out. Sorry, I had technical difficulties. So, let's start again. So, like I had mentioned, que en mi canal vamos a hablar mucho de la historia de Chicanos y de Mexicanos, no Chicanos, de Chicanos y de Latinx. Since it is Pride Month, and we are talking about pride, it's hard not to talk about pride and not mention Stonewall. Muchos, cuando piensan en la palabra Stonewall, muchos piensan en Marsha P. Johnson, who was one of the first black trans activists and frontline women during all the Stonewall protest. However, ella no lo hizo solo. She had a homegirl, a really good comadre, a good Judy, by the name of Sylvia Rivera. So, here's the cheese man. Sylvia Rivera was born July 2nd of 1951 in the Bronx, New York. She's from Puerto Rican and Venezuela descent, so she was a fierce bitch. She was shortly at a young age abandoned by her father and was forced to live with her grandmother, but while living with her grandmother, she was beaten a lot and abused. Also for the way she would act is what they said. I don't know whatever that means. But regardless, at a young age, she ended up running away at the age of 11, and she started prostituting on the streets. So, se fue a la chingada de la casa porque ya no podía. So now she's living on the streets, collecting her coins. She ran into a group of drag queens who eventually took her in as family, as one of their own. And within that group is where she became Sylvia and identified herself as a drag queen. Although she was really big on not being into labels, she later on considered herself transgender. So during this time, Sylvia was starting her peak of activism. Can you believe ella nomás tenía 17 años? She was only 17 years old when she was doing these riots. Can you believe it? Could you imagine protesting for your rights at this day and age? When all you want is equality. Oh my God, could you imagine that nowadays? Hay muchas personas que dicen que Marsha P. Johnson fue la primera que tiró un pierda o un vaso, pero hay muchos que dicen que Sylvia Rivera fue la primera. But they've actually both gone on record saying Marsha said she didn't get there till 2 a.m., right? Or midnight? Something like that. She got there after the riots had already begun. And then Sylvia said she met Marsha in the park that night. So they weren't the first ones to start it. However, ellos fueron las que estaban enfrente del march. Sylvia Rivera was always pushing the agenda forward for equality and civil rights. This then led to her becoming the co-founder of the Gay Liberation Front. Junto con el Gay Liberation Front, ella también juntó con su amiga. She basically hooked up with her homegirl, Miss Marsha P. Johnson. Y pues they co-founded STAR. And STAR was basically an acronym for Street Transvestite Action Revolutionary. STAR was a group that also helped empower trans youth and gender fluidity. Los que muchos no te dicen is that, yeah, during that time they were fighting for like gay liberation rights. But what sparked Sylvia and Marsha to really push forward was during the fight for equality, they felt left out and betrayed. So during the public support of the gay rights bill, Sylvia no estaba contenta. Para nada. Y te voy a decirte por qué. When the bill first came out, que duró casi 17 años, just to make it a New York law in 1986, ultimately excluded the rights of the trans community. It was in this moment when Sylvia realized that there was a lot of backroom deals going on. So the deal was basically, you take them out and we'll pass the bill. Sylvia was not having that. Porque no chingas way. No estoy pendeja. Also, not to mention, during the gay liberation rights were also led a lot by middle-class white men and feminist lesbians at the time that didn't share the same passion for marginalized groups within the gay community. Entonces, como lo estaban incluyendo a todos, Sylvia Rivera delivered the iconic "Y'all better be quiet" speech. I don't know, I'll post it somewhere here. The iconic speech that went down in history during a Liberation Day rally in 1973 in New York City. And she let them have it. She stood up with grace, con todos sus huevos en el mano, diciendo todo el mundo que chingate, aquí estamos nosotros también. And the chingona let you know that she was a frontliner and that she took no shit from nobody.
Do you do anything for them? No. You all tell me to go and hide my tail between my legs. I will not longer put up with this shit. I have been beaten. I have had my nose broken. I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the fuck's wrong with you all? Think about that.
So after feeling betrayed for something that she felt so passionate for and fought for, she kind of fell into a sense of being defeated. And she left Star, stopped activism, and kind of hid in the shadows and disappeared for a while. She kind of felt like she was never really acknowledged for what she did. So this kind of put her into a depression also. And then that and losing Marsha after Marsha's death, she kind of completely lost it. So after 20 years de escondiéndose, la chingona regresó con todo ganas and she came hard. During the 1990s, she came back to fight for trans rights and engage in culture conversations about gay marriages and topics like LGBTQIA plus people in the military. Also, during the 25th anniversary of the Stonewall Riots Parade, Pride, she was able to actually participate in. During that time, she's also known to say that the movement had put her on a shelf, but put her down and dusted her off. Unfortunately, in 2002, February 19th, Sylvia had passed away. But she will always go down in history of being that chingona who pushed hard to really make sure that T stood out in the LGBTQIA plus. So if it weren't for her, there would be no visibility. So let's continue shining on. So that's my Pride look, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Muchas gracias para venirtes, cabrones. Y hope to see you guys soon. And if you guys want to see more of Chisme Mondays, or if you guys want to see me, I don't know, do some desmadres or whatever, make sure you leave your suggestions down below. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, cabrones, porque aquí ando, wey. Te estoy esperando. Hazlo. No te hagas pendeja. Talk to you later, cabrones. Ciao. Where's my lollipop?